A little bit far-fetched, and you might be thinking that this kind of authoritarian control over your money is not going to be anything that we'll see in the future. Unfortunately, this is already implemented in the world. In China, the government is already able to program what its citizens can and cannot spend their money on. Over the last few years, they've limited millions of people's ability to buy things like train tickets, passports, and luxury goods. They're able to do this because of China's intense social credit system that links each person's identity and actions to their bank account, allowing the government to see and to control everything a citizen does with their money. And it seems like the West is paying attention. In nations like Sweden, South Africa, and Canada, trials of programmable central bank currencies are already underway. In fact, almost half of the world's nations are at some stage of implementing this kind of programmable money, meaning no matter where in the world you live, this technology is likely only a few years away. Okay, so how does programmable money tie in with the personal carbon limit? Well, it all comes down to whether or not you've gone over your monthly usage, and if you have, there are two possible case scenarios for that. The most openly talked about penalty for a person going over their individual carbon limit is that they'd simply get charged for doing so, just the same as what happens to large companies today. Taken too many car trips this month, or bought a little bit too much meat? In that case, you'd simply get a bill at the end of each month from your government, so you can pay the price of being a naughty citizen. As your entire carbon usage would be tracked by a government CBDC, there would be no way to hide how much carbon you've used. And since they now also hold the keys to your money, they won't even need to send you a bill for your excess usage. Potentially, they'll just automatically pull your fine from your bank account.
Right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings be unto the hopeful elect, pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. This is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch. As you just seen in the beginning of this video, that was a brief segment going into the social credit score system, also going into programmable money, and also the carbon footprint agenda that's currently being pushed upon the earth. And all of those three things are all intertwined, and they're all components of the beast system that the wicked elites of Esau Edom are looking to implement upon the earth through the New World Order system, okay? And, as you heard the woman say in the video, you have various nations upon the earth right now that are actually running pilots, running trials in regards to, this technology and how implementable that setup actually is, all right? Which we already know that system is going to be implemented upon the earth in the very near future. And in the video, she even said that, a lot of this, tech is ready to go, within the next few years, all right? Which makes perfect sense. But, one thing we have to remember is that this technology, this infrastructure really, is already developed. Because you know how the devil gets down. He plans, far, far ahead, all right? And proof of that is, you have subliminal messages and predictive programming that he will put in movies, that he will put in TV shows, so on and so forth, showing you the future, showing you how particular infrastructures are going to work and how people are going to respond and utilize them, okay? So it wouldn't be a surprise if this whole infrastructure and the technology is already all good, and ready to go to be implemented upon the earth. It makes perfect sense. And again, we know how this devil gets down. He has all kind of, technology that he will withhold from the public But then he'll release it and then you'll be thinking it's new. But, they've already had that in terms of, the military and so on and so forth for decades. Okay. But to us, it's new because they release it according to their own timeline. All right. So as the scriptures tell us, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. All right. We are not ignorant of his devices at all. All right. Because we are illuminated with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. All right. So when she made reference to, the whole 2 years thing, that is a very short time away, but it could be even sooner than that, according to, how Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai wants this thing to play out. But what we do know is that we're definitely in the midst of the end of this man's kingdom, okay? Because all the signs point to the last few prophecies being fulfilled in these last days. And that's why we always say, ain't gonna be 10 years or 5 years, 10 years, 15 years in this wicked kingdom. No, the signs are being displayed now, okay? The signs of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai is coming are being displayed now. So we are in the time of the return of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai imminently. All right. So, right quick, I just want to get a few scriptures. This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10, and it reads, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." All right. So there's going to be a great trying, upon the earth. There's going to be a great time of temptation upon the earth because people are going to have to make a decision, a very important decision as to who they are serving upon the earth. Okay? Because when you receive that mark within you, you have now, if you will, pledged allegiance to Esau, Edom, okay? And the elite bankers. All right? But if you deny that CHIP, the Revelation 13 and 16, you are solidifying, your allegiance, to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And what I'm saying only applies to Israelites. And it's important for us to also know that those that are going to pledge allegiance to the so-called white man and those that are going to pledge allegiance, or rather solidify their allegiance to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, those two groups of people have already been decided in the heavens, okay? Have already been preordained to make the decision that they're going to make in these last days. And that's a very scary thing, which is why it's very important to fear Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, okay? Because he already knows your fate. The Lord already knows what you're going to do in these last days. He's already programmed you to either accept, the device within you or to reject the device, okay? That's already been decided in the heavens. But we pray to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai that we be of those men, all right? Women and children, that are kept from, taking, that mark, all right? So again, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right, so there's going to be a great trying, upon the earth. There's going to be a great time of temptation. There's going to be a time where you're not going to be able to live like you've been living, for the past 10, 20, 30 years or 40, 50 years, according to how old you are. No, there's going to be a great shift upon the earth and things are going to be done differently. Okay? Now, like, what was mentioned in the video, you're going to have, a carbon tax. Everything is going to be carbon based. So, how many times you drive your car is going to be quantified. The kind of food you eat is going to be quantified. How much meat that you've ate, in a particular week or in a particular month is going to be restricted. Okay? Everything is going to be quantified and fed to you in pea-sized amounts in the name of saving the planet. All right, that's what these devils are doing. They're getting ready to implement that heavy upon the earth. Okay, and even you have this woman that goes by the name of Catherine Austin Fitz, who she's an insider. She used to actually work in the White House. All right, and she heavily goes into, the beast system and how it's going to work and the functionality. All right, so on and so forth. And she even brought out, the whole thing with programmable money and how they're going to have the power to program the money to only work in particular shops according to who you are. So if they deem you, for example, overweight, your programmable money is not going to work in certain shops. For example, Pizza Hut, Domino's, or KFC. Your money won't work there. Because they're going to have the power to program your money to only work in particular shops. All right? Or if they think you've surpassed your meat allowance for that particular week or month, then they can program your money to reject the purchase of meat. Okay? They can easily do that. And they got a real draconian system over there in China, all right, which she mentioned, the Chinese social credit score system, all right, where if you perform a particular crime or transgression, all right, in the public, either a speeding ticket, crossing the road, when there's not a green signal, so on and so forth, you can get a fine for that, okay? Because they have a very high-tech facial recognition system, okay? So whatever you do in society is quantified and measured. So there is no escape, and this is what they want to implement ultimately everywhere upon the earth. They want full control, okay? So with full control comes, draconian measures and, restrictions upon your way of living. All right, so people are going to have to get used to this because it is coming. All right, it is coming. Whether it's going to be at the end of this year, early next year, all right, or the year after, we are in the time of the return of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, okay? And the way things are looking, this thing can go down at any moment, all right? Literally at any moment, this thing can go down, man, and your life is going to change. Now, let me get right quick before I close out. This is on the book of Sirach, chapter 2, and verse 1. And it says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble." All right? So we're going to be put into a position, a greater position, where we're going to have to constantly endure. All right? We're going to be met with constant affliction. Not that we're not going through constant affliction now, but it's going to be on another level, okay? Because society in itself is going to completely be turned, into something that you've never experienced before. For example, it's going to be a thing in the past for you to, work and sustain yourself by normal means. Going to the supermarket, taking advantage of particular things in society that you don't think twice about, all right? It's going to come a time where everything you do, there's going to be a deep thought before you do it, okay? Because not everything is going to be so readily available, all right? You might be in a situation where you have to barter for things for a hot minute. You just don't know. You might be in a situation where you might be having to live with a particular brother, all right, because he might have a particular situation set up through the spirit where he can house brothers. All of these situations are going to present themselves in due course, okay? But we can't exactly pinpoint and say what's going to happen, all right? But all we do know is that we're going to be trusting in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai in that time, okay, like we are now. So it says, "Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end." All right, so that increase is coming. The reward of our faith is definitely going to be established. There is going to be a reward for the sincere men, that serve Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right? Now, verse 4 says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. All right. And I really wanted to highlight, this particular verse in verse 4, to be patient when thou art changed to a lower state, because that lower state is coming. But we ain't going to be wallowing, in that lower state for a great deal of time. All right. Because that lower state is really for the wicked of our people. All right. Because they're going to be permanently in that lower state until they're destroyed and then reborn in the kingdom of heaven. All right. But Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is going to bring us through that lower state, and he's going to, have us rise up. Okay. So this is what we have to look forward to. All right. So again, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. And the reason, you should take it cheerfully, and of course, this is easier said than done, but Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Ra'azah, I have the same spirit and conviction that I have now when it's actually, falling upon me. All right. But what I want to say is that the reason why we should take it cheerfully is because we understand that whatever comes upon you, all right, whether good or bad, we ultimately know that it's the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that's brought that upon you, because he controls both sides. So whatever you go through, the Lord has brought it upon you. Okay. So he sees fit that you go through that trial, that tribulation at that present time. All right. But if you get through it, and you come out, victorious, and you still trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all right, then, hey, the Lord is obviously dealing with you, man. All right. Because you didn't cast away your integrity like Job. All right. Affliction will come. All right. Affliction, is a given being involved in this ministry. All right. And picking up the plow. We should expect affliction, but having the strength to overcome the affliction, all right, and still be present, laboring, in the truth, and still believing, still having faith, that's what's important. That's what really matters, So, Lord willing, this lesson has been edifying. I pretty much hit the point that I wanted to establish in this particular lesson, but hey, we in that time, man. We in that time. So until next time, shalom.